Welcome to my kitchen. This is Dana Tries It. Welcome, welcome. I am so happy you're here with me today. I am making one of my favorite dishes, one of my favorite dinners. How can I explain this? It is easy, healthy, hearty, tasty. And did I mention easy? That's probably one of the easiest things you'll ever make for dinner. That's why I love it. I also love it because my mom used to make this for me and my family when I was younger, and it's just one of those things I keep going back for and wanting to eat. That's how tasty it is. So in front of me, and let me also say, this recipe came from, yes, my mom would make it for us when I was a kid. She got this recipe from a former coworker, so I will write the recipe below. There's no link or anything this time, and I will talk about what I'm trying differently with this recipe this time because I have made this recipe previously. So in front of me are all the ingredients that you are going to need to make this recipe, minus one, which is sausage. So this is an Italian, actually let's go to our recipe box. Today we're making Italian sausage casserole. So now this is not a traditional Italian sausage and peppers where it would be marinating in a sauce for a while, and you probably would make your own sauce, of course. And this is not essentially having sauce in here, a little bit of jarred sauce. So it is different from that. That's why I call it an Italian sausage casserole. I've pretty much given it this name. I don't know the official name of this recipe. So I'm gonna try it. I'll tell you what I'm trying differently. I'm gonna move these jars to the side. I'll open these in a second. Salt and pepper to the side, we'll use that. I'm gonna push this forward. So the one thing that I am trying differently this time around is I am going to be using a glass pan instead of a metal pan. I've been using, the last couple times I made this, I used a metal pan. It was probably the same depth, but then it was a little bit shorter of a pan. So I want to just see if maybe the glass will help cook it, and maybe because it's spread out a little bit more. My potatoes, now I was using smaller potatoes and cutting them pretty much just in half, and it was taking a long time for them to cook. So it might have been the type of potato and also maybe the pan, I'm not sure. So that's what I'm trying today. I am changing it up and I am using Idaho potatoes. That way, they're very good for baking. So maybe it was the type of potato too. So I'm gonna check that out today. So this is, like I said, incredibly easy. The first ingredient that you're gonna add to the pan, and we're gonna make everything into this pan, is the potatoes. So I'm gonna grab my potatoes here. And I just evenly distribute them. So I've already chopped everything. I pretty much cubed them too, so they're a little smaller chunks than I normally maybe would have, but because I'm trying to kind of keep to the time of this recipe, I thought cubing them or making them a little bit smaller might help with their cooking time as well. All right, so my potatoes are here in my pan. I'm gonna spread them out. Next, I'm going to add some peppers, just green peppers chopped up. Again, everything can be a rough chop. That's what makes this so easy. I would make your pieces pretty similarly sized so everything kind of cooks together. And I also just make sure I'm evenly distributing everything. All right, peppers in there. And then the next thing, the last thing you need to really chop before it goes into the oven is one whole onion. And I pretty much just, again, rough chopped and diced. I'm gonna kind of pick them apart as I lay them out in my pan. Use my knife to help me scoop some more. Not sponsored, but I love this carving board from Crofton. I got this at Aldi. Oh, it was very inexpensive, maybe $12 for carving turkey before Thanksgiving. I'm going to do some videos on Aldi finds because I love finding some awesome things at Aldi. Next, I'm gonna take a second here to open up a can of stewed tomatoes, a small can, 8 ounces of tomato sauce, and another can is sweet peas. I am going to spread my sweet peas with the liquid into the pan, just right on top of all the veggies. Told you, this is very easy. And don't worry about if it's not evenly distributed. We are going to stir this. Next, I'm going to grab my stewed tomatoes in the can. I'm going to make sure all the liquid is in the pan. I'm going to take out my stewed tomatoes. I put this to the side. I like to cut these because they're a large bite. So, I'm going to go right here on my cutting board. I'm going to take out some stewed tomatoes. I'll cut a couple with you guys and then I'll chop up the rest and throw it in there. So I like to, again, just a rough chop. Go down the middle in half and then just a rough chop. Give it just bite sizes. Diced maybe not as small. Okay, then what I'm going to do, grab my pan, putting that back in here. I guess I lied, there is another thing you need to chop before it goes in the oven. I totally forgot. I'm going to chop the rest of these stewed tomatoes, but also you want a small can of tomato sauce. I'm going to evenly distribute that. I'm going to grab a spoon. Get the rest of that out of there. All right, and then I'm going to add some salt and pepper on the top. Got in pretty good. You will continue to season this as you cook it and taste it. All right, I'm going to chop up the rest of the stewed tomatoes and add these on here before I stir so you can kind of see what happens in the pan. Be right back. Okay, I just finished dicing up my last of my stewed tomatoes. Put that everywhere. I'll give this board a wipe in a little bit. Next, what I'm going to do is take a large spoon and I'm going to just mix everything together. I want everything to have a little of everything on there. You want the tomato sauce to kind of spread around in there as well. That's the stewed tomatoes, the sweet peas, that's pretty much your flavoring, as well as the veggies. Ooh, little pea tried to escape. This is a really yummy, salty dish. Not overly salty, of course, but just like the potatoes in here, you have peppers, onions. We're gonna throw some meat on here in a second. But the peas just give you like a pop of sweetness that I think really is what makes this dish unique. All right, so I have some sausage from the refrigerator. Now, when my mom makes this, she uses a family pack of sausage. So I think that comes with about 8 to 9 sausages, and you can do the exact same thing. We are a family of 2, so I'm only going to use a small package with 5 links in there. And this is the awesome part. You just lay it on top. I told you, easy. And hearty, you can see, right? Pretty healthy. Nothing's being fried, everything's baked. Rule of thumb with sausages, you definitely want to leave some space in between so they get all that cooking in between as well. And for this pan, that fits pretty perfectly. I think if I had more, they'd be squished together, which is fine. They will cook, but I just like to give them some room. So this is a 5-pack. I think it fits perfectly. Here's what the finished product looks like before we throw it in the oven. My oven's been preheating at 425 degrees, and I will pop this in the oven for about 30 minutes. Now, before you take it out, because there is a step in between baking, make sure your sausages look cooked. You can even cut into one to make sure it's cooked in the center. So you're going to cook this for 30 minutes. That's what the recipe here says. And then you're going to take out the dish, take out the sausages. I'm going to put them on my carving board here. And then I'm going to put this back in the oven. You're going to cut up, and I will do this so you can see, slice up the sausages. Then you're going to take the dish back out of the oven, put the sausages in, mix it up, probably salt and pepper one last time, put it back in for 30 minutes. That's what the recipe says. So I've been having to cook this for 45 minutes, take out the sausages, chop them up, another 45 because of the potatoes. So I'm going to see if the cook time works out. The other thing is when you're taking it out to slice up the sausages, do not leave this out on the stove. I've done that before, and I think that might be another issue because your pan is going to cool down. So even if it takes you 5 minutes, you get distracted, blah, 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 you don't know how much time is passing, that dish might have been cooled and now it's starting to have to reheat when it goes in the oven. So you really don't want to let it sit for too long and lose too much cook time. So I'm going to throw this in the oven 30 minutes. I'm going to show you what it looks like. If it doesn't look cooked just yet, I'll pop it in for another 15 minutes and I will let you know what's going on. Be right back. So I just pulled out my sausage from the oven and put it on my carving board here. I had to, at 30 minutes, take a sausage out and cut it in half to see if it was done. It was still a tad bit raw, just kind of a little spot in the sausage, so in the center. So I put it back in for 10 minutes. So this has been cooking for 40 minutes now. Okay, so I'm gonna slice one of these sausages just to show you, and I'm gonna end up slicing all of them, putting them back in the pan, salt and pepper, mix it up, put it back in the oven for at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes. You want to make sure that your potatoes and your peppers and your crunchy veggies are all cooked before you serve it, basically. The sausage is now cooked thoroughly, and so this is ready to go. And everything else that was canned is already cooked as well. All right, so you're just going to slice up your sausage into bite sizes. Just gonna slice it up. You could always cut these smaller pieces if you like. It's just dependent on what you would like to serve. I just like to slice them and serve them like that. All right. Okay. So here's my sausage. I'm gonna throw that into the pan. Again, salt and pepper, mix it up. Throw it back in the oven for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I'm going to check it at 30. If it needs an extra 10-15 minutes, go ahead and do so. And then I will show you the final result. Okay, so the Italian sausage casserole is out of the oven. It is cooling. It will be extremely hot. 30 minutes was enough and it is cooked through. So I think using the glass pan was a great idea, or just a larger, longer flat pan, if that makes sense. And then I think also using the russet potatoes that are really great for baking, and sort of dicing or cubing them in smaller bites really helped to cook them. Again, I did add 10 minutes to the first cook time. So instead of 30 minutes, I did push to 40 minutes. And then I also put my pan back in the oven while I was slicing the sausage, which makes a huge difference. Put that in, stirred it up, put it back for 30 minutes, and then it was done. Again, you can push 40-45 minutes if need be, so just keep checking it. And I did season it after I took it out of the oven and stirred it one last time. So here is the final result. It's looking delicious. It is smelling up this house like none other. It smells so good. It's like a call you to dinner type of dish. So I'm gonna try this right now. Here we go. We get a little bit of that sausage. What I love about this dish is the tomato. The tomato and the sweet pea, even with some of that liquid in there, is the flavoring. The potatoes are flavored. The sausage, once you throw it back in there, soaks up some of that tomato flavoring as well. So everything kind of has a cohesive flavor, and everything's seasoned. So it's not just, I just put salt and pepper on something and it's been roasting in the pan and is marrying together lovely. And again, it's a call to dinner sort of meal. Everyone's smelling it throughout the house and they're wondering when it's gonna be done. I love to also serve this with some fresh Parmesan cheese on top, grated on top. I just think it gives it a little extra saltiness, which I go pretty easy on the salt, and kind of load up the pepper when I'm seasoning this. So a little added salt from the cheese is awesome on top. So try it out. Comment below if you try it and how it went. Again, super, super easy, super yummy, pretty healthy, and hearty, which is really important for dinners, especially if you have a family to feed. Enjoy. I will write out the recipe below so you have it, and enjoy it, share it. And if you like this video, please give it a like. If you like this video and other content, please subscribe, and then you'll have up to date when I'm loading videos. See you soon. And again, try it, like it, subscribe. Let me know how it went. Let me know how your family enjoyed it as well. You will be a superstar in this kitchen with this dish, I promise you. All right, till next time, you guys. Thanks for joining me. See you soon.